Hi guys, today's going to be a video about SP. I feel like I haven't touched on this topic in a week or two, and yeah, I try and keep the SP videos quite regular because you guys are really enjoying them, connecting with them. It's probably the #1 manifestation topic, and of course it draws people to my channel. I feel like my channel has built up a lot because of you guys and people watching who just enjoy the SP content. So today's going to be all about that, and it was inspired by a request. So this is from one of my LOA coaching darlings, Jennifer. I took her points, and this was from the membership channel, by the way. I took all her points and kind of created a video concept around her questions and comments because I specifically requested from my membership group what you guys would like to see. And I noted down everything people responded with, and today's going to be a video based on that. So if you do want to submit ideas, which of course you can do anyhow, but if you want to engage with me more directly and have, you know, fewer people where you can engage and discuss and connect with me in a smaller group setting, then you can become an LOA coaching darling for $2.99 a month and get that as well as polls and an exclusive monthly Q&A. So you get just a little bit of extra contact with me by becoming a member. So yeah, the link is in the description, as well as actually there should be a join button right below the video. And I'm going to be talking today all about the impact of the 3D reality on your SP, how the 3D reality shifts, how your SP connects with their own 3D reality, and what effect and impact does that have on your manifestation. So thank you, Jennifer, for this request. I think it's a very interesting discussion topic, and if you guys enjoy, then please do thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I also offer coaching, so if you're new here and you don't know, I offer one-on-one coaching. So yeah, you can just become a member of the channel if that price point doesn't match for you in terms of coaching, but you can also get one-on-one help from me via video calls or written email coaching. So take a look at the end of the video, the outro on screen, and in the description box if you'd like to hear more. And now let's start the video. So the first point is that your SP will either forget the past circumstances or they will reconsider how they view them. They will just reconsider everything and reevaluate everything that has happened in the past that's negative. So basically anything that doesn't align, if they broke up with you or they called you names or said something not very nice, you know, yes, that's not ideal, but sometimes it's a direct reflection of our assumptions and our fears. So remember, it doesn't always mean that your SP is an a-hole and they just don't care about you. Sometimes it's unfortunately just the way circumstances and feelings turn around when we have negative assumptions. And if that has happened, they will reconsider it, they will apologize, they'll be like, what was I thinking? Or they'll forget it and it will just be revised and they just won't even acknowledge it in their own minds. It's just not something they even acknowledge as an event. So don't worry about whatever they've said, whatever you've said, you know, the negative old story, all of it will shift to bring in the result that you're focusing on. So yeah, it's most likely that with the 3D reality and circumstances that your SP will just forget and shift their focus, shift their viewpoint on things that have happened. So past issues and conversations that you've had, whether it was, you know, some form of potential betrayal or just hurt feelings or the timing not being right and you just being like, do you know what, I think it's time that we separate or whatever, but you're manifesting that SP back now. Those kind of past issues or conversations, they will forget or they will justify it. They will find a reason. Like I said, they'll reevaluate and they'll say, oh, well, you know, I made up the third party. They never existed, if your affirmations focus on that, by the way. I just said that to make you jealous, or I just said it because I felt insecure. They will justify things and they will find a reason to justify and kind of make sure, like, how do I say it? Prove that your affirmations have become the reality. So there will always be a reason. There'll be, you know, A, B, C as to why they acted a certain way, why things happened a certain way. You will forget the issues as well. So don't worry about the past story and the impact of that on your manifestation, because your SP will have thoughts that align with that. So they will say, well, I only broke up with you because I thought that you were about to do that with me because of this conversation we had. So I panicked and I got worried and insecure, and I never meant to do it. Whereas in the past, you would have thought, oh, they just don't want to be with me, or they said all these things, so it means that they're no longer interested, they lost their feelings for me. But then they'll come back now, and potentially, by the way, this is just like potential scenarios that could happen. And I'm not saying if this doesn't happen, your manifestation is wrong or things aren't working. These are just potential examples of, the impact on your SP. So they will come back and say, actually all those worries you had about why we broke up made no sense. I don't even know myself why we broke up. So all of these things will unfold to bring in what you want and kind of justify everything that's happened in a positive light. So their own 3D reality also has to conform in order to allow them to conform. So your SP will obviously have to conform to your affirmations because they don't have free will in your reality, and that's just how manifestation works. Things have to occur and shift to bring in your desire. So they will start thinking about how they are being reminded of you. They'll start initiating conversations with people in their lives. Things will just shift in their own reality day to day, very subtly, or people literally bringing you up to them and saying, it could be their own mum or dad being like, look, you need to get back with her, back with him. That person's right for you. Like everything you've said, we've actually thought about it, and they don't compare to your other exes. It could be anything. Like their reality will conform to bring in your manifestation. It's not that just everything in your reality is shifting, because for them to reach that point, an emotional point of wanting to be with you, falling in love with you, or whatever it is you're manifesting, they have to conform and shift. So of course things that are around them, their circumstantial experiences and things going on in their life has to shift as well. So another question Jennifer mentioned, and a point she mentioned, really interesting, and in terms of your SP being able to impact your 3D reality, yes, of course they can. Like I said, they don't have free will, so it's not that they can reject your affirmations or decide, oh, I'm going to decide not to fall in love with this person, or I'm going to ignore all the feelings and thoughts I'm having, and I'm just going to go in this other direction. But they can impact your relationship. But like I said, if you're creating positive assumptions, they're conforming to it. So most likely if you persist, they can only strengthen it. So I want to pinpoint that it's you persisting and being consistent that will create the result from their end as well. So they can, take initiative and take inspiration to buy you flowers, or take you out on special dates, or plan a romantic surprise, whatever the case may be. And it may not be what you were specifically focused on creating, but it's like a pleasant surprise. So yes, they will most likely strengthen your relationship, bring in more positive results, and so they can impact your relationship and your reality technically, but it's not going to be the polar opposite, the binary opposite, because if you're persisting and every single day working on creating the belief that you're in a relationship, they love you, they're committed, how can they start, putting in significant effort to go to the opposite? They can't just suddenly start ghosting you or saying horrible things to you because you're persisting in a predominant focus on that positive relationship. In order to maintain the permanence and make it really, permanent and cement it as a belief, you have to persist. So that's my point, and kind of like advice and warning point, that you can create, the movement from them that you want, and they can positively impact your relationship and take, initiative on their end. So it's not just you manifesting it. In a way, they will be manifesting it too because of their emotions and mental shift. But you have to persist, and you have to create it as a belief in order to sustain that. And your own thoughts will align with it going forward. So your own thoughts will actually reflect the relationship. You'll no longer be spiraling and worrying about past issues or arguments, or like ruminating and overthinking on things that happened before and thinking, what if they won't commit? They are committed to you. So those thoughts wouldn't even be coming up because you'd already be in a point in your 3D reality where you've created movement, you've created results. Once it starts coming in, it's like a flash flood of, positive movement coming in, and your belief is becoming more and more permanent in your mind. So more than likely your own thoughts will align with it, and you'll start thinking how amazing they are, how committed they are. You can't even remember not having this amazing relationship with them. All of these things will just lead to strengthening the relationship, and whatever negative thoughts they're currently having will shift. Because like I said, they don't have free will in your reality. They have to conform because you're persisting and you're putting in the effort to cement the new relationship, the new positive version of your relationship. So they don't have the free will to oppose that, because their own thoughts will be shifting and the negative thoughts that they may be having will just fade away. And you're not aware of those thoughts anyway. That's happening in their mind. More than likely, if there were negative thoughts before the movement occurs, like visible movement, I mean. So before you get back in contact or before you meet this person for the first time, whatever it is, whatever negative thoughts there may be, you're not really going to be aware of them. And even if there is action based on that in the old story playing out still, you're not going to see the majority of them. Like it's not going to be that, oh, SP had a thought at 9 a.m. this morning and that's why they texted me this. SP had a thought at 2 p.m. and that's why this happened. It's not going to be that way. So as long as you persist and ignore the 3D reality, whatever negative experience is currently going on in the current version of your 3D reality will not continue to play out. You will not be aware of it, and it's up to you to just keep putting in the mental focus on the new version. So that's a little bit rambly, but that I think summarizes everything I wanted to say. I hope that all made sense. I tried to give as many examples as I could. So if it was a useful video and interesting advice, then please do thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.